and Angira, and they are instructing Maharaj Chitraketu. So like you have already read that Chitraketu glorifies Nara and Angira and requests the knowledge because they were all very morose from the death of the son. Then Narad Muni, by his mystic power, he awakens that child. He calls the soul to re-enter the body, same body that he had before. And what instruction, the important thing in this topic that we are discussing about the child is talking and giving the instruction, and he took it very seriously and he became a perfect devotee. So if we hear from a little child but high philosophy, what is according to the Shastra, then that appeals very much because children are innocent. Same thing if somebody is very, very pure, is like purity is the focus. So pure, then it appeals to the soul and he engages in devotional service. So Vaishnavas wander like Narad Muni to benefit the materialist. Just like Sanat Kumar, they all wander. Narad Muni, Ribhu, Angira, Deval, you have already read them. So please ignite the torch of knowledge. So they are requesting Chitragata Maharaj that please give us the knowledge so their lamentation may be finished. Shokamo Bhayapaha. So these are the requests. In particular, this verse number 26 that we will be reading. Chitraketu chanted his mantra for 1 week. That the mantra was given by Narad Muni, and then he attained the rulership over the. No. Oh. So 20. So by Gandhar Nagar, now you are actually experiencing the misery of a parent. One's wife, house, kingdom, opulence, sense objects, others are all temporary, and they are the causes of lamentation, stroke, and moha, illusion, fear, bhaya, and distress. Artha. So they are like a Gandharva Nagar, and they inside phantasmagoria, and they are no better than dreams, swapna. Like when we see, it is like swapna is like a illusion, maya, and mental concoction. Manorati dhavatu savai. So what it is, if we hear this thing, and Gandharva Nagar is like you say, Akash Pushpayate, but there is no flowers on the Akash. But people glorify that there is very beautiful flowers. Same thing is Gandharva Nagar. It is there and it is not there. It just goes on. It is effervescent. It just goes away. And same thing, this dream that goes away, and then we feel that, oh, everything was okay. In the daydream also we do whatever we are doing. That is not really right because there was nothing in the beginning, there is nothing in the end. Middle we see is, and it is based on the body. Body is not existing even now. Body is just a vehicle for the soul. So the soul, we should give the importance to the soul. And anything we do in relation to the body, that is really, not only it is an illusion, it is all in the mind, not with the soul, not with the chitta, chittete koriyai. Chitta is like a curtain. So all these feelings are there in the mind, intelligence, chitta, but actually the chitta is very close, mind and chitta, very close to the soul. So soul becomes attached to these things, to chitta, mind, intelligence, and feels that it is I am suffering. Really, soul cannot suffer, cannot be cut, cannot be withered, cannot be dissolved, it cannot be destroyed at any cost. Arjuna was also thinking like in that way, that if I take sannyas, I won't be the cause of killing to so many innocent people. There will be Varna Shankar children. Why I should kill my grandfather and my guru and my cousins? So let me better take sannyas. But then Krishna instructs him about the soul. That soul is important and soul never dies. So you do your duty of dharma and follow that. That is more important than your concocted idea of taking sannyas. And then he says, Nastamo smrtir labdva, that my all the illusion has gone now. And then I will karishye vachanantam. Whatever you are saying, I will do it. So same thing that we will come to our real senses by reading these chapters and by hearing the transcendental messages from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So mind is the cause of actions. Whatever is happening due to our past actions, do we create such mental concoctions that in turn make us perform further activities, and we get more and more bound. So we should do immediately. We should stop all this sensory enjoying propensity, and we should come to our senses that these are all useless. This activity. It has nothing to do with the soul. It has nothing to do with the super soul, Paramatma, or Bhagwan Swam. We have to do everything in relation to Bhagwan, and you could make your life in such a way that whatever you do is Krishna conscious. You earn for Krishna, so there has to be temple. You bring the deities, nice food, you buy different things, you produce children, then children belong to Krishna, not to you. Don't feel that this is my blood is flowing and this is my child. No, it is Krishna's child. He has given you the duty to take care of him and make him Krishna conscious. And so that is also dharma. Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamasmo bharatarshava. That hai bharatarshava, that is Arjun's designation that I am the calm. So if somebody has, it's not that material desires are stopped. You could have it, but in relation to Krishna. You could eat nice palatable food, but prepare in loving devotional service to Krishna. Feed him nicely with love and care, and then you could take the remnants. Not to overindulge in anything, but you could have jobs, you could have marriage, you could have children, you could take care of your parents. There's a duty to them. They have produced you, they have born you, they means, but it is really we are children of Krishna. We are not children of parents. And that is the instruction are giving by this child that you are saying that you were my parents. But what stage, when that was all. I do not remember anything of those past you met, but now I'm in a different body and my parents are different. There are millions of parents that I had. So you are my parent, and what guarantee is there? Our real parent is Krishna, and we should make our relationship with Krishna. So these are all, the mind is the cause of actions. Only due to our past actions, that past is there, we perform further action. So because of our past life, if we have not been a devotee, then we'll think about same thing, unfulfilled desires. And Krishna want to fulfill those desires. Giving you the body, like you want to show your body, become a tree. If you want to make like a pig, then become a pig. Eat anything nonsense, you become a pig. Want to suck some blood, become a lion or tiger. So he facilitates, not that he wants to give us some trouble, but it is our desire, our action. So we should leave our desire to Krishna. That Krishna, you do whatever is best for me. I am foolish. I do not know what is good for me. And then you act on all that level. So the body is the source of all miseries. There, see, 1 million, not even a millimeter thick underneath the skin. What do you see? From top to the bottom, it's all meat, it's all stool, urine, pus. All the organs are very nasty. They get sick and diseased. So everything is bones. People, they don't like, even they touch it, they have to take a bath. But we feel very comfortable. The body is so nice, but body is full of so much filth, so much dirt, and that one would not like to see it again. Like you pass a stool, you heard about the story of liquid beauty, that prince got attached to this one beautiful girl, and then she said that I will come, I want to enjoy you, and she could not refuse. She says come after a week, and she took so much purgatives and so much uh, just to cause vomiting, and so she was vomiting day and night, and she put in the pots, and then she was standing when the man was supposed to come, this prince, and when he came, uh, ma'am, where is that beautiful young girl? I don't see her. No, I am that. No, no, you are telling lie. Why? It's not possible. What has happened? So she says, come, I will show you the beauty. My beauty, where it has gone. I have separated the contents of my beauty out of my body. He shows him his vomiters and his stool and mucus and all these disgusted things. And he will, it's so much stinging from keeping covered in for a whole week, then or maybe 2 weeks, whatever it is. And he could not really stand that. He just left the place right away. So if it's somebody intelligent, they will understand that body's beauty is because of all these things: stool, urine, pus, blood, uh, bone marrow. They are not good to look even at it. Your organs, if you see, they are not attractive. You may say by heart, but heart and liver and spleen and all these things, you may see that, but they are not really proper looking. It is just a covering. So, so this particular verse that we will read, verse number 26. Tasmat स्वस्थेन मनसा विमृश्य गतिमात्मनः द्वैते ध्रुवार्थ विश्रम्भम् त्यजोपश amavish avish upamavish, a peaceful condition. Vishrambha dhruvartha vishrambha. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Therefore, O King Chitraketu, carefully consider the position of the Atma. In other words, try to understand who you are, whether body, mind, soul. Consider where you have come from, where you are going after giving up this body, and why you are under the control of material lamentation. Shok. Try to understand your real position in this way. Your real position is that you are Atma. Atman, part and parcel of Krishna, meant to serve Krishna. Krishna is Nityadas. Your real position in this way. And then you will be able to give up your unnecessary attachment. You will also be able to give up the belief that this material world or anything not directly in touch with service to Krishna, anything in touch with service to Krishna, that is eternal, because that is directly related to the soul. They are soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Thus you will obtain peace. So there is a peace formula, and we will talk about peace formula also. So purport, the Krishna consciousness movement is actually endeavoring to bring human society to a sober condition. We are all drunkards. We are all taken poison. We do not know who we are, why we are doing this, what is our destiny, what is good for me, what is bad for me. Even Sanatan Goswami, when we went to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is asking, who am I? Who am I? Swami direct Apatra. Why these three kinds of misery, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmik, is affecting me? And how I can get relief from all this? Please tell me, who am I? So this is the same thing is happening here. So the Krishna consciousness movement is actually endeavoring to bring human society to a sober condition because of a misdirected civilization. Misdirected means they tell you, you enjoy whatever is there. Yavat jivet sukham jivet renam kratva gratam pivet. Eat, drink and be merry. When you die, everything is becomes ashes or mud. And then everything is gone. They don't know about soul or eternity of the soul or body separate from the soul. They think that I am the body and that is me and mine, an extended bodily relationship. People are jumping in materialistic life like cats and dogs, performing all sorts of abominable, sinful actions and becoming increasingly entangled. We are running here and there just for food, where is sex, where is how I could enjoy, and they are running. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. These are their activity which are there in even the lower species of life. So why the human life is meant to accumulate our dharma, or understand our dharma, understand ourselves. All sinful activity is to please the body, but body pleasing does not help us, help the soul. We should please the soul by Krishna conscious activity. We do not know what is our food for the soul. The Krishna consciousness movement includes self-realization. Means I am part of Krishna, his servant, and I must serve Krishna. Because one is first directed by Lord Krishna to understand that one is not the body, but the owner of the body. We are less like owner of the car. And if the car gets dashed, then he feels if there is a Rolls Royce here, $1 million car, oh, I got hit, I got dent. But he did not got hit. He's very comfortably sitting. But because the car, we are attaching to the car, we are thinking that car is mine and I am the car. He is not the car. Same thing, I am not the body. I am the spirit soul. And after this, things should not really bother us. Or should not really, that it is in the nature, it happens. But if we identify that I am the body, then whatever happens to the body You feel that I got hurt. I got there. Like mother is cutting the, say, boil and takes to the surgeon and he cuts it out. There is a lot of pain. Child feels my mother is my enemy. She's putting me under the knife. Why? Although she has a good meaning. So whatever Krishna does is to make us better. Say like if you have a toothache and you have a toothache and then it needs to be root canal has to be done. The doctor cuts the root, so there is no pain. But what happens? Then people may ask if it has to be cut, why Krishna gave those nerves there? But that is there, that nerves are given there, or all this feeling is there. So you realize that there is some problem with my body, and you take care of the body. Same thing, fever or whatever happen, pain, suffering, mental pain, bodily pains, and pain. So these are all giving you about the condition of the body. So you could recognize and correct yourself. Like if you have tooth problem, you go to the dentist. If you have a bodily problem, you go to some doctors and take it care. If we are not given, like we are impending heart attack, and there is some sweating, there is some pain in the chest, and you take to the doctor, but oh, everything would be all right. Then naturally you may die without problems more and more with the heart. You need to be. So the Krishna gives us this pain that there is something wrong in our position, and then we can go from there and take care of it. So when one understands the simple fact, what is simple fact that we are the owner of the body, not the body. So we have to take care of the body according to what is needed by the owner. Not the body is making you move. Our bodies, we are not the body that is fact. We are spirit soul. The body is dead. Even now also the body is dead because it cannot function without the soul. The soul is the real principle and we should take care of the soul very properly. So soul does not degrade. You may say, how soul can degrade? Soul can be covered up and then and then we cannot see what the soul's needs are. So we need the intelligence, how to uncover the soul. Cheto Darpana Marjanam, we should cleanse it, rub it, rub it, rub it by chanting, by Bhagavatam, by devotee association. There are many things that has been described. Because people are not educated in terms of goal of life. They are working like madmen and becoming more and more attached to the material atmosphere. The misguided man accepts the material condition as everlasting. The material condition is not everlasting. You could cut it off. You could cut your ropes off. We are all bound by the material nature. We could cut all the ropes and shackles and go back to Krishna's abode in real freedom. We think that I am free, but we are not free in the material. We have been bound by Maya, bound by Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun, or we are bound by, that's like a puppet is bound. And he has to dance according to the desire of the puppeteer. And that's what we are doing, that we are puppets. One must give up his faith in material things. This will give me pleasure. No. The Marag Marichika, the deer, runs away for something. Oh, there is water, I am thirsty, let me run. But that goes away further and further and further, and until he dies. It means he does not see any water. So really there is no pleasure in the material world. But we are chasing towards the pleasure that I will be happy. If I have such and such, if I have such and such money, a palatial building, or a nice job, or if I have son or a grandson, or if I marry him, we don't, but we have nothing to do with all this. The soul is completely separate from all this bodily activity. But we are attached to the body and think that let me make my body pleasurable. But pleasure, how long it will last? It will go away. It is phantasmagoria. Phantom limb means when the limb is cut off, then still there is some nerve endings, they grow. And then the center is still there intact. So you feel that, oh, my hand is coming back if it is amputated, or my hand or leg or knee, or it is growing, but it is just play of the nerves. Same thing, one woman who wants to become very much pregnant, then they have a spurious pregnancy, it is false pregnancy. She will feel that her abdomen is growing, she feels some movement of the baby, sometimes she starts feeling some breast enlargement, there is some milk is there, but that is all because All the time you contemplate, oh, I am getting pregnant because she has no child. And then they feel in that way. So material condition is not everlasting. It changes. It won't remain the same. But soul does not change. So we have to put a soul in atmosphere where it does not change. Everything, all things what is here is many times more purer than the spiritual. But we want these still things are good and let me hear. If I go away, how the country would take care or how my family would take care by itself. Krishna's arrangement is there. Her hand to the elephant. So we should not worry about too much about in the childhood when they are depending on you, you take care of them as a service to Krishna. That he has given me this child or this husband or this wife and you take care of them nicely as a duty to serve. So one must give up his faith in material things and give attachment for them. Then one will be sober and peaceful. So I will, yes, there are two more verses to finish the chapter. I will take that and then we will discuss these things. Shri, text number 27. Shri Narada Vacha Etam Mantropanishadam Praticha Prayato Mama Yam Dharayan Sataratrat Drashta Sankarshanam Vibhum. The great sage Narad continued, my dear king, attentively receive from me a mantra which is most auspicious. After accepting it from me, in 7 nights you will be able to see the Lord face to face. Khatwanga Maharaj saw the Lord face. Means he was liberated within few seconds, within Nimesh Matra. So one has to move their attachment and their from the material things to the Supreme Lord. If you go on chanting, that is all in all you require. It is so powerful. Krishna is dancing on your tongue, and Krishna is greater than anyone else. So why not to speak about Krishna, chant about Krishna, think about Krishna, and that includes everything. Nam, Roop, Gun, Lila, Entourage, even entourage means. So everything is all there. The great sage Narad continued, my dear king, attentively receive from me a mantra. He wanted to give him the mantra. That is there in the next chapter. And you will be able to see Lord. That is his assurance. Then the text number 28, the last text. Yatpada moolam upasratya narendra purve sharvadayo brahmamimam dvitiyam visrajya satyas tadiyamatulanadhikam mahitvam prapurбhavanapi param nachirat upayati means will obtain. So translation, my dear king, this is Narad Muni saying, the former days Lord Shiva in former days and other demigods took shelter of the lotus feet of Shankarshan. Thus they immediately got free from the illusion of duality. Duality means heat and cold, good and bad, tasty and not tasty, some hani la, jivan maran, yash, apyash. These are all according to your previous testing. And that is all within Krishna. He gives you the different modes of material nature. You will very soon attain the very same position. It's a law of Krishna. So it will start next time the new chapter. King Chitritra is meeting the Supreme Lord. But for up to 3 verses, if we have time, I will read the summary which is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the 3 verses. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there is a there is some part. So yeah, I could finish those. But let us discuss this important point. And so I was telling you about the peace formula. What is the peace formula? One thing that in Bhagavad Gita 5:29, Bhaktaram yagitapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram shuhadam sarvabhutanam yagyatva mam shantim richati. So Krishna, Bhokta, he is the enjoyer. Bhokta means enjoyer. We give bhoga, but we eat prasad. We don't take bhoga. First it has to be offered to Krishna. Let him enjoy and then he gives us back. So Bhoktaram, whatever it is, whatever you are doing here, Girta, whatever austerities, donation, Sarva Loka Maheshwara. He is the supreme controller of all the planets, Sarva Loka Maheshwara. Shuhadam, he is our well-wisher. We should never think that he is cruel or he is hurting you or why make me poor or why made me stroke or why he made me paralyzed or why he's not giving me the job. So we cannot demand all this. Whatever you deserve, Krishna is giving automatically. He is giving food, shelter, heat, sun, moon, water, air, everything that we are using. He is growing the food. He is digesting our food. From one grain that you grow, right, it may become 100 or 200 or 500 times. Why? Why? Does any scientist can make like this? Can go? It is by nature. Whose nature? You may say, oh, it is the soil. No, it is Krishna's arrangement. It is making all these things for us. So we should accept him. We are not proprietor, we are not enjoyer, but we are cooperators. We should give pleasure to Krishna. We are not the owners of anything. We should, oh, proprietor, we are the owner. But how we could be owner? We did not have before, we won't have later on, and whatever see is a kind of illusion like you see in the night time. It is the mind who is the thought of everything. And this mind and then another is chitta. Chitta se kariya ekya. Aur na kori hum maine asha. Can you hear everything? So chitta is a kind of curtain where all the impressions of the mind are reflected, and it is very close to the soul. So whatever happening in the chitta, we think it is me happening. If we get hurt, the mind, some pain or trouble in the mind, we think that yes, I have pain, but it is not me. The soul is completely aloof in all of this. So once a king, this piece formula I will tell about it a bit more. Once a king arranged a competition to find out who would create the best painting symbolizing peace. Many artists participated. One man, so this is the king, he did that. One man made a painting of a peaceful scene, showing nice trees, rivers, birds. Another painting showed a massive star where trees were shaking, things were being destroyed, and everything was in the flux. On one tree of the painting, a cat, a little bird, not cat, a little bird is sitting there that was peacefully singing. The king concluded this symbolizes peace. It's natural. The world is a place of turmoil and violence. There can never be peace permanently, and our history proves this. Politics, wars, terrorism, natural calamities, problems, and disturbances are always present. We must urgently understand the peace formula from scripture that there is a one supreme Lord. So there is one Lord Krishna who is the proprietor and enjoyer of everything that exists, and who is our supremely loving well-wisher, that is Krishna. By following these principles, we will find peace within and can spread real peace with outside. Within we feel peace, and outside you could spread that peace. But Krishna is Supreme Lord. Please come, chant His holy names, take Krishna Prasad, build a nice temple for Krishna, serve them, keep the temple clean. Your children are really Krishna's children. Give them attention. So all these things are there. If we build a house on shifting sand, that sand is moving, it will collapse in the first storm. But if we build our house on a foundation of stone, it will stand throughout all the storms. This is the world where there are storms inevitably. It comes. Whoever we are in our foundation rests on, if our foundation rests on truth and hope in the love of God, then despite any storm or situation that may come upon us, we will be at peace. So this is one of the peace formula. So we should surrender to Krishna out of love. So just a little bit more about how we could be panacea for all suffering. That is chanting. Krishna's Godhead does not need our backing. So Krishna does not need our backing or our all the Vedic literature unequivocally declared that Krishna is the supreme supreme. Here are some examples. It's not that he is recognized because of our glorification. No, he is the owner, he is the controller, he is the master. He has everything. He does not need our chanting his names, but it purifies our heart. We understand him more, and then we could walk on the thread what Krishna wants us. So, and as different Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigrahi Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead. That is Brahma Samhita 5.1. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swam. Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam 1.3.30, 38. So Devki's son Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Narayana Upanishad. Even Krishna himself declares explicitly about his supreme position. Matta Paratarannanya Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. That nobody, na anyat, there is nobody else, nobody other, that he will put this carpet and different things, whatever is needed. It is by Krishna's arrangement that things are happening. So there is no truth superior to me that Krishna did. So surrender to Krishna is a beautiful experience and the most wonderful concept in all creation. It means to generally offer our whole love to him. Those who are unwilling to surrender to Krishna will know that you will surrender to him at the time of death. You will fall flat. So old age, disease and death are the weapons by which powerful time strangles. Time I am. That I am coming to get your all the comfortable situation take out. And so we have to surrender when you are alive, thoughtful, rather than surrendering at the end of death, at the time of death. We may forget Krishna completely. If we understand our eternal position as the servant of Krishna and humbly accept it, all our miseries will cease. Okay. So we are reading about how the peace formula, that is all the suffering, is chanting the holy name of the Lord. If we understand our eternal position as the servant of Krishna and humbly accept it, all our miseries will go away. It will exits. So Krishna immediately takes the devotee under his refuge, under his tutelage. If we take one step forward, Krishna, he takes hundreds of steps towards us. Krishna wants us to be happy. And so he is not giving us any trouble, but he is helping us to, his by Shastra, by his Diti form, by his teaching, education, anything about how to dress. So he is making us happy. If we make him happy, Krishna wants us to be happy and is always ready to shower his love upon us. He promises, abandon all varieties of religion. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam shanavaja. That is his prerogative. He is the supreme and is asking us that give up all these little, oh, you do this, worship this demigod, worship this Shraddha. Nothing is needed. If you please Krishna, he takes care. There is no rent. Don't be worried about some that sinful activity bother you, that you are just like this. Krishna asked his father, Nanda Maharaj, don't do this yajna, Indra yajna, or offer all these things. Bring and do worship to Govardhan. So Krishna manifested as Govardhan and eat, and he says, Anyor, Anyor, bring more, bring more. So he eats everything and brings it everything. So we have to please Krishna. We have to surrender to Krishna. We should pay our respectful obeisances to Krishna. And whatever you say, you do it practically same day rather than prolong and procrastination. Procrastination, you cannot achieve any peace or any. So it should never be procrastination, should never be there. Devki's son, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Even Krishna himself declares explicitly about his supreme position. Matta parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya, the conqueror of the wealth, there is nothing superior to me. So surrender to Krishna is a beautiful experience, the most wonderful concept in all creation. It means to genuinely offer our love to Him. Surrender means do everything. Variable anukulasya sankalpa pratikulasya varjanam rakshakshati vishwaso gopatratve varnam tata atmanikshepa karpanya shadabir shanagati. So these 6 items are shanagati. So we should offer his really his weight, his hankering, he needs our love. He produced Eko Vai Bhusham. He became from one to many to exchange of love. A man gets married, takes so much trouble, then there is exchange of love. But that love is material. But children, so all this so we should put during even marriages also that how you could become Krishna conscious even through the marriage, even by producing child, even by earning, even by taking care of the household activity. A woman should take care of all his children and in Krishna consciousness. Kaumarat Acharet Pratya. When he is 5 years old, you start educating him about the soul and super soul and how they are, where they are. So we would be successful if we take to fully to Krishna consciousness. Krishna is humblest and is waiting for us. He has given us everything. If we understand our eternal position as the servant of Krishna and humbly accept it, all our miseries will cease. Krishna immediately takes the devotee under his tutelage. So he is waiting. Teshamaham samudharta mrityu sansara sagara. So he comes when we are drowning in the Bhavsagar. He comes on the uh, back of the Garud and gives his hand to the drowning person in the material world, suffering person, and takes him to the spiritual kingdom where there is no suffering. If we take few steps, he takes many, many steps. So we are seeing that the supreme proprietor, creator, master of the entire cosmic manifestation is eager to serve his devotees and take a secondary role. We rarely find such examples in the history of the world. But Prabhupada is given that how Krishna is, even to Putna who came to kill, she became a Dhai. And so anything, even if there is, he cut off the head of this Dantavakra and his brother Shishupal, but then he was able to see the pastimes of the Lord for many thousands of years in the although Lord's times were in it, but he was born in the trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, who could see so he could see the devotees, his parents, he should see Krishna, and Krishna liberated them. Surrender to Krishna opens the door for a blissful and eternal life. We are eternal people. So we would be blissful if we spend our eternality that we are servant from Sanatan Dharma. Eternally servant. Sanatan means always. It is not, they were there. Nobody can take it out. Provided we know our path, where to go and surrender to Krishna. The ocean of material world is like the water contained in a calf's footprint if you surrender to him. Their goal is Param Padam Vaikunthe, the place where there are no material miseries, not the place where there is danger at every step. So just a little bit more about even Prahlad Maharaj is also saying that Krishna is the dearest. Why we are spoiling our lives? So instead of being very anxious to stimulate our senses to increase material happiness, we should try to attain spiritual happiness by practicing Krishna consciousness. Although your life in this human body is temporary, it is very valuable, this human life. So instead of trying to increase your material sense enjoyment, your duty is to dovetail your activities in some way in Krishna consciousness. Like 50 years we waste in sleeping, 25 years in taking care of body and family and education, and the rest of the time, 25 years, we'll be old, we won't be able to speak, we won't be able to walk. So why to make this our life miserable? It should be practiced from very childhood, at least from the age of 5 years. So Prahlad Maharaj instructing, pure devotional service is so spiritually relishable that a devotee becomes automatically uninterested in material enjoyment. That is the sign of perfection and progressive devotional service. A pure devotee continuously remembers the lotus feet of the Lord, Sri Krishna, and does not forget him even for a moment. Yogaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravarashahitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virayanave. Not even in exchange for all the opulences of the three worlds, he would not give up his Krishna consciousness. Giriraj Maharaj and his father came. He voluntarily accepted the service of Srila Prabhupada and built a Mumbai temple. His father comes and then he says, I will give you $1,000,000. Please give me my son back. He says, you take him. But he refused, I would not go. I'm enjoying so. Param Durastvani Vardate. If you have a higher taste, you would give up the lower taste. All the material tastes are very, very low, very abominable, obnoxious, has nothing to do. But so, as a very rich man has no hankering for small petty things. So, also a devotee of Lord Krishna who is guaranteed to pass on the kingdom of God, where life is eternal, fully cognizant and blissful, naturally has no hankering for petty material things. We will give up, which are like dolls or shadows of the reality and are without permanent value or permanent value. So we understand. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, simply by remembering the lotus feet of Krishna, simply by offering prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is immediately free from material contamination. The material bodily concept by the blazing fire of ecstasy. This effect takes place immediately without a second delay. The more one makes advancement in devotional service, the more one becomes detached from the mind. That is the test. Just after 10 minutes, my conference call would be over. My conference call would be over within 10-15 minutes, and I will call you back. So please pick up the phone later. Thank you, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. I love you. So, Hare Krishna. So, can you all hear? Everything is okay?
We're not able to hear you very clearly, Maharaj.
Okay. I'm hearing very, very low. But anyway, so what is renunciation? Renunciation means param drasta nivartate. One is engaged in material activity. They renounce that, being attracted in it. And when he loses his attraction in this material world, he is attracted by the Supreme Krishna. Some attachment is there. So rather than material attachment, we should make that attachment to Krishna. Serve Krishna. We are serving community, nation, our own whimsies, our own senses. We serve all of them because that is service is the real factor. Even the president of the Lord, or even that I am the servant. Krishna is also serving. Serving his Jiva souls. He produced, we are his children. But we should reciprocate with him in his loving devotion, by loving devotional service. Although he is Aptakam, Atma Ram, he does not need it. But if we love him, he respects it. He is waiting for our love. He is waiting for us to turn back to the spiritual kingdom. So when we get the experience of this higher test makes one refuse all that is lower. Thus, before we approach anything higher, we should reject the lower. We cannot hold on to both. You cannot put your foot on the boat and on the shore. It has to be both. Foot has to be on the shore, not on the boat. Then only we can cross. So
I was thinking of reading but rather that we will have question answers if you have anything to discuss. Daydream, night dream, what this Angira Rishi and Narad Muni and what this child is saying. Yeah, will be coming in the next chapter, that how the child becomes alive. See, initially we are reading about Vratrasur. Vratrasur is fighting, but he's telling this Indra, come and kill me. His Vajra is there. So I could go and give up this demonic body and go to the kingdom of God. And this Indra was very much amazed about his devotion. And then the question was asked by Parikshit Maharaj, that who was this Vratrasur, how he was become such a devotee, even he had a demonic body. So in any body one can become a devotee, in any condition, any time. Katwanga Maharaj became in a moment, in an image, he became perfect in Krishna consciousness and went back home, back to God in a Viman. Parikshit Maharaj took 7 days. We don't have even a moment or anything. Anytime a heart attack would come. Anytime one man that I know, he fell down from his motorcycle. And then so many, because it was so much fog that all the vehicles were going on top of it, crushed him completely to a young boy. So anytime these things can happen, we don't know whether by accident, by Krishna's arrangement, whether it is by the boat drowning or car accident or bus accident or truck accident or by drowning, fire, bite by snakes. So many millions of things are there in the world. Just within a couple of days, I knew that many people, I knew that, and they got a stroke. Like you are saying that our friend, he had a stroke. What is his name? Anyway, so these things can happen in the material world. So we should take to Krishna consciousness very, very seriously. When time is there, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just went. When we have the human body, we have this, Prabhupada is giving us all this nectarian instruction, we should take it to the heart. So any question or comments, that are still 5-6 minutes, we can discuss.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Maharaj, Dandat Pranam. All grace to Sri Prabhupada.
I can't hear, but let me just. No. Okay. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hello.
All grace to Sri Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Nice, such a nice nectarian class and it's a edifying association of yours. Your lotus feet. You were talking about the test of detachment. I think in terms of in relationship with the detachment, you are talking about the test. At that time, you were faded out, couldn't follow. So, what is the test that we are?
Test of spiritual bliss, and when you are have more, he feels very, very happy, blissful. That's why people take sannyas or go away, or not that out of duty. They have to perform their duty, but the real statement on the family are attached to Krishna. Make everybody who are related to you attached to Krishna. Then that's such a nectar that in comparison to the material enjoyment, it's just one drop, and Krishna's consciousness is like a whole ocean. So you cannot compare both. So if you are detached, it's not that you are detached out of frustration, but you are detached because it's a still, it's everything. There is no pleasure in the material world. The real, everybody is suffering. Krishna has stamped this place as miserable. So we take to Krishna consciousness. So that if we take it, then it's a real test.
Yes, Maharaj. So I wanted to know.
So one who is attached to this Krishna consciousness, he would not feel happy with the material sense enjoyment. Yes, Prabhu.
But how to arouse the sense of suffering in a person who has not gotten that awakening? So a lot of people they are not realizing that they are suffering. Accordingly, they do not get attracted.
They make material formulas that my suffering will go away. But who will be happy when there is birth, death, old age, disease? There is miserable. Nobody is happy in the material world. It's a phantasmagoria, or it is like a this chasing behind a water, that there is a water in the desert and the deer runs. They run for happiness or to quench his thirst, but the water goes further away. So there is no happiness in the material world. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This place is temporary and place of misery. One should realize that dukkha doshana, janma mrityu jara vyadhi, dukkha doshana darshanam. We should see that this is all place of misery, and we should see that faultiness of the material nature. Because nobody is able to be satisfied. It's like if you want to satisfy your senses, it is burning more. It will need some more and more. So nobody is satisfied by any means, anything. So why not to? Only you would be satisfied. Soul, eternal soul, has a relationship with Krishna. So they have to be educated. They have to be like you are saying that if a person is in darkness, he does not know that suffering, but there is a cure. And that is we have to turn to Sadhu, Shastra and Guru and read and get that knowledge. Cheto Dharmana, we have to remove our dirt from our heart that has been accumulated, thinking that there is happiness in the material world. That's why I do so many things. Opulent marriages, the show off, the cosmetic industry, and so we are all wasting our valuable time in so many things. If it is nothing related to Krishna, then change that, don't take it. It has to be related to Krishna to please Krishna. That's why there is a surrender process. But it's a very few people can understand. But whoever can do it, they could be a big example for the others. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank
you. You else has any comments, questions, corrections?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Donu Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Shri
Radhanaman
Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, I appreciate that you're coming and joining. Yes, I hope that other disciples could have come and join and ask questions. That is the time that we could relate to each other.
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, why is it that it is so simple, but it is still so difficult for everyone? That it's such a simple thing.
Very
that,
good question. Yes. The reason is that we are accustomed to, like meat eater is accustomed to meat eating. Gamblers is attached to that. Woman hunters are attached to the women. Like you, Prabhupada gives a story that one fisherwoman who is came to the house of a lady, her friend, dearest friend, who is selling the nice fragrant flowers, champa, chameli, rose, many beautiful flowers. And she was given the room where flowers are stored, that you please, so she could smell those and be happy. What happened? She did not like that fragrant smell. She was so much used to that fishy smell. So she could not sleep with that smell. She said it's abominable. So she brought her basket in that room with the fish where she used to collect. It was very smelly. And then she put on top of her head, and then she could sleep. So the people are used to these material things, sex life, this, that, everything. Then they cannot feel pleasure in Krishna consciousness. So they have to understand Krishna, Nam, Rup, Gun, Leela, by chanting. Gradually this dirt would be removed. Then we could see our real face, real position. Like a mirror has so much dirt, you cannot see your face. But you remove that, and then you could see your reality, what it is. So people have to know what is their goal, why they are doing all this, how they could be happy. Nobody has become this model formula, but people who are detached and who are Krishna conscious, they are happy. They are the happiest people on the earth. Prabhupada made them hippies to happy. They did not know what to do, what is their life is for. So Prabhupada gave us the goal. Our life is to serve the lotus feet of Krishna. We are Krishna's part and parcel. We are not the material body. We are a spirit soul. So do the activity, but it takes time. You cannot just why or why I cannot, although it is a simple thing. Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple-minded people, but it is very difficult for complicated. So we should give up all that attachment that we have made to Krishna. Krishna could be in any relationship as our friend, as our paramour, as our son, as our servant, or he is beloved. So you develop your relationship with Krishna. You want to decorate Krishna. You want to have swing festival, put Krishna in the swing. And like Krishna used to swing with Srimati Radharani and other gopis, and he used to have dance, and he used to have steal butter, because the gopis wanted that he should come to my home and steal my butter, steal my heart, not just the butter. So they feel so much pleasure. So we should develop that kind of pleasure. Because of our materialism, we have developed pleasures. And see, like for somebody, it may be stale, or the Chinese, they eat some mouse dipped in for 2 years, closed, and it becomes all liquid and so bad smell, but they drink it as something special. So something rotten, how it is something special. So same thing, we have developed this test for something rotten material way, but if once that pleasure is billions and billions time more than what pleasure we get in the material world. So by Shastra, you first understand, then Krishna will help you to understand it. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mamupintite. He will give you the understanding by which you can go to Krishna. So please try to understand all these things, and you will be able to feel that this material world is a disgusted place. How to really should means same thing. Even in a dog life, all these four things are there with any living being. Why we should do the same thing in our human life, which is meant to culture or develop Krishna consciousness. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Danu Pranam.
Hare Krishna, because we are attached to it. That's why for many lifetime, millions of lifetime. So now we are by education, by Krishna will give you the eye to see the reality. I am eye in the knowledge. We are in darkness. Asatoma sadgama, tamsoma jyotirgama. We are in tamas. Okay. So anyone else has any comments, questions? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for this nectarian class, and so nicely you explained so many points. So thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's all that Srila Prabhupada is very kind and merciful. So
Yes,
we could
Maharaj.
he gave in a summary. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave so much, and all the parampara.
Yes.
So we should glorify that.
Yes, Maharaj. So just want to confirm, you did only one verse, right, Maharaj?
No, I did finish the whole chapter. Means
Whole
3
chapter.
verses.
3 verses.
26,
Okay.
27, and 28. And that chapter.
Sure. So tomorrow will be
We
next
should
time.
take it to the chapter 16 from tomorrow.
Yes,
Where
Maharaj.
Narad Muni brings the soul back to that body.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's telling it's very important. Very nice. I wanted to see what the child is saying. So when sometimes the child's mouth you hear, you feel that that is correct. The child is innocent and he's giving the instruction, and his father, like to be father before, he then understood and he gave up all this attachment, child, and he was engaged and he could see Sankarshan, Lord Sankarshan face to face. There are two Sankarshan. Sankarshan becomes Anant, but really Anant comes from Shirodaksha Vishnu, expands. But Sankarshan is expansion from Lord Balram. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. And this Sankarshan, then there are two Chaturvyu, one for the spiritual world, one for the material world. So he is worship. Lord Shiva worships Sankarsha. Chitraketu is worshipping Sankarsha. So, any other things, or we should end here now?
Yes, Maharaj. If nobody has any question.
Okay.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Grantharaj Srimad
Kripasindhuvaivacha.
Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Patitanam
Vancha-
Vaishnava.
His Holiness Shamik Rishi Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much,
Gaurav ki
Maharaj.
jai. All the
Jai.
assembled Vaishnava ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare Krishna Nikunjanas Prabhu, did you stop recording? Thank you, Hare Krishna.